What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Signature Dish. I'm your host, Siggy B, and today I'm so excited because I'm going to share with you guys my favorite recipe. Yes, we are frying the chicken. The chicken will be fried. It'll be buttermilked, it'll be crispy, and y'all are gonna love it. So, let's get cooking good looking. All right, y'all, let's get started. So, we are going to start with our buttermilk marinade. So this is going to help tenderize the chicken. It's going to help season the chicken from within so that you're not having to put a ton of salt in your flour later. But yeah, we want to season from within, we want to season without, and that's how we get all those different depths of flavor. So I've got some buttermilk here. I'm actually going to pour this on last. So we're going to throw some kosher salt in here. This is going to help tenderize your chicken and, like I said, flavor from the inside. I'm gonna do about a tablespoon per pound of chicken that I have. Kosher salt is going to tenderize our chicken and season from within, and we want about a tablespoon per pound of chicken. I'm also going to throw in my favorite. Y'all know I love some Creole seasoning. I'm gonna do a couple tablespoons of this. Hopefully this doesn't send me into a sneezing and coughing flurry like last time. There it goes. Gotta hold your breath for this. All right, that's good enough. Give me a second. So I like to use some flats, of course. That's the age-old debate whether people like their drums or their flats. I like drums. Martellus and everybody else likes flats. So I like to use some drumettes as well as the wings with the tips cut off, which are flats. I'm also gonna throw in some onion. This is just gonna help season our chicken. We've already got our kosher salt and our Creole seasoning in here. We're also gonna put in some smashed garlic cloves, you know, to your heart's desire. I'm gonna put a few in here. We're just gonna smash them so that the flavor can escape. And then that's it. We're gonna throw our buttermilk in here. We're gonna mix it all up and then throw in a bay leaf, and we're gonna marinate this for like 8 to 24 hours. You can do this overnight. I usually like to put it in before bed. And then when I wake up around lunchtime, I'll start frying chicken. I'm putting my gloves on because I finally got my nails done during quarantine, and I don't like to get all the stuff up under my nails when I'm mixing. You can use a spatula if you want to mix this, but your hands are always the best tools when cooking. So I'm gonna mix this up. I'm gonna throw in a bay leaf and go in the fridge. All right, this is gonna tenderize our chicken. It's gonna taste well seasoned from within. And you wanna get at least 8 hours in the fridge. Throw our bay leaf in there. Just push that down in there. We're putting a bay leaf, okay, don't do that with the knife. We're putting a bay leaf in there for some extra flavor. I like to use bay leaves when I'm marinating something or cooking something over time. It helps to add some really good flavor in there. I'm gonna cover this with some plastic wrap and we're good to go. All right, y'all, that's it. Pop it in the fridge at least 8 hours, up to 24 hours, and let it do its thing. You need that time to let that salt get in there, flavor the chicken from the inside. That milk is going to tenderize your chicken. It's gonna be nice and delicious and tender and all the good things that we love about fried chicken. So, 8 hours at least, it's going in the fridge. All right, I'm making my flour drudge here. And this is where I feel like, you know, chefs get creative. Everybody has their different seasoning blends that they like to put together. But all you really want to do is make sure that your flour is well seasoned. Y'all know you have to season your shit well, okay? So we're going to put a couple cups of flour. depending, you might need more depending how much chicken you're frying. I'm gonna put it in a plastic bag. If you've got a paper bag, you can use that. If you've got a casserole dish, you can do that. I just find this cleanup to be a little easier because I can just throw the whole bag away. Now, fun fact, Martellus's mom taught me how to fry chicken. Martellus thinks he taught me how to fry chicken, but it was his mom. So
it was me.
It was his mama. So I remember like right after we got engaged, like literally the next day, we went by his parents' house and his mom was, you know, hosting, they're entertaining. So she was frying chicken in the kitchen. I was in there trying to make a good impression, you know, as the future daughter-in-law. So I was just, you know, taking notes, seeing what was going on. And I happened to mention that I'd never fried chicken before. She was, what? You've never fried chicken before? I'm like, no. As y'all have heard previously, my dad was a health nut. We didn't eat fried chicken growing up. So yeah, so right then and there is when she showed me how easy it is to fry chicken. A lot of people do get intimidated by it, but it's actually way simpler than you think. So I'm gonna throw some seasonings in here. Y'all, Creole, again, always. A couple tablespoons of this. Maybe like 1 tablespoon. Because we do have that well-salted chicken that's coming out of the buttermilk, right? This is some cayenne. Don't be put off by how much cayenne is in there. You actually don't get as much kick as you think you do. Some mustard, some pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of ginger. And like I said, y'all can throw anything you want in here. That's the beauty of frying chicken. Just gonna mix this all up. And we're ready. Okay guys, I'm going to start flouring my chicken. I double flour, so this is our first round. You wanna give your chicken time to get that coating to stick so that your breading isn't falling off of your chicken. So what I like to do is I like to brine it and then flour it once, sit it on a wire rack, let the coating stick, and then flour it again right before I throw it in the hot oil. Over the years, I've kind of developed my own recipe. My mother-in-law did teach me, she taught me my basics, you know, but I walked and now I can run. So I keep one hand dry and one hand gets in the buttermilk. We're gonna just shake off your excess brine, throw it in, a couple pieces at a time. So my mother-in-law, she didn't buttermilk her chicken, and I'm not really sure what seasoning she used in her chicken, although her chicken is bomb because she worked at Popeyes for many, many years. Martellus always says that he used to smell like chicken as a kid. So his mom managed a Popeyes for a long time. So she's well-versed in so she is very well-versed in the frying of the chicken. But over the years, I've experimented a bit. And so, you know, after doing some research, I learned about the buttermilk brine, how it flavors from the inside. I'm gonna switch out my gloves. I find that tongs are actually easier sometimes. You just dip, put it in there. Your hands don't have to get wet at all. But yeah, so over the years, I've developed my own recipe. I've tried a bunch of different seasonings, but the buttermilk really works for me, and I feel like that's my signature chicken. Everybody knows my buttermilk chicken. All right, we've got our first little round. So we're going to shake off any excess flour and place it on our wire rack. So like I was saying, you guys want to give this about 20 to 30 minutes to stick, to get your coating some time to stick, and then we're gonna double back and flour it again so that you get that really good thick crust and crunch. So when Marty and I first got engaged, I don't feel like my mother-in-law immediately accepted me, but you know, in her defense, Marty really didn't bring me around 2 years that we were dating. So she didn't know me that well. I'd met some of his other family members, but she did not know me that well when we got engaged. So she was kind of, giving me the side eye in the beginning. But I feel like when she finally taught me how to fry chicken, it was kind of like a rite of passage, like I'd been accepted into the family a little bit. And ironically now, she says my chicken's better than hers, and it is one of my proudest achievements. Marty says he likes my chicken better than hers. My father-in-law does not say that, as he damn well shouldn't, because he would be in the doghouse. But yes, everybody says that I make the best fried chicken now. So y'all are in good hands here. Student has become the master. Gonna do a few more here till we fill up our wire rack. And then I'm gonna put these in the fridge again on the wire rack, just so that that coating can stick. And we're gonna give it a few minutes. This batch in particular, I put in before bed last night. So it's had about 17, 18 hours to soak. So we should be very well seasoned. Okay. Close it up again. Depending how much chicken I'm frying, if we're having a party or something, I'm doing a large batch, I'll make a whole nother set of flour, because obviously it's gonna start sticking and it gets crumbly and kind of stuck together. So for that second dredge, you kind of want a fresh batch of flour if you're cooking a lot of chicken. Okay. Shake off any excess. Throw it on here. All right. Like I said earlier, I'm a drumette fan, but everybody else likes flats. I feel like that is an age-old debate. I like thighs. I don't like the breast because the breast tends to be, a little less flavorful. What's your favorite part of the chicken, guys? I'm like, overall in the chicken world, I think the thighs are my favorite. They're just very flavorful and juicy.
I like your thighs.
My husband can turn anything I say into sexual innuendo. It's quite the talent, I must say. All right, guys, that's a good little batch here. I'm gonna pop it back in the fridge. We're gonna let it coat, and then we'll get it in that fryer. Well, I don't have a fryer anymore. I did used to have a deep fryer, like a little kitchen-sized one, but it only did like 4 wings at a time, which is terrible because you're usually feeding, a party. Anyway, all right. So this is all coated. We are going to put it in our fridge for about 20 minutes. We're gonna let it stick, and then we're gonna bring it back out, flour it one more time, and pop it in some hot oil. Okay, guys, it's been 20 minutes. Our coating is sticking to the chicken. We are going to get a nice thick coating of chicken skin. It sounds weird when you say that, but that's the best part of the fried chicken, right? So we're gonna coat it again. I'm gonna throw it back in here. I made a second batch of flour, like I said, because I was making so much chicken that my flour started to get too sticky. So I made a second batch. And this will coat our chicken nicely. Oop. Okay. Now, I'm not going to coat all of these at the same time because I actually just want to go ahead and throw this batch in the oil, and then while that's cooking, I can start doing another batch, kind of like that, double tasking, because we can't throw all of this in the oil at one time. You need to do a few pieces at a time so that you're not overcrowding your oil. That way we can avoid oil fires. Y'all don't want to. No, you don't want it. I know you've seen memes about that. It's not fun. I've never had one. We're not going to start today. So we're going to go throw this in the oil. So I'm checking my oil. I like my oil to get to about 320 degrees. You don't want it to get too hot because when you put that batch in, it's going to immediately burn. But 320 is a good temperature where it can start cooking the chicken from the inside without burning the outside. So yeah, we're here. And I also like to use a cast iron pot for this because it keeps the temperature very even and you don't have to keep waiting. You don't have to keep waiting for it to heat back up to 320 in between each batch. Wait until you start to see the chicken floating. This is a sign that it's almost done. I like to let mine get a bit more color. So I'm not going to take it out just yet. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. But you see how it's rising to the top? That's how you know your chicken is almost there. I like to put mine back on a wire rack so that the oil can drain without making the chicken soggy and greasy. And then it's also easy to slip this into a low oven if you want to keep it warm while you're cooking your other pieces. And we're ready for another batch. Okay, y'all, we are good to go here. Plate up our last couple pieces. So I like to have a nice golden brown color. I don't like my chicken too on the light side. It's got to have a nice little golden color, but like I said, cooking it at that lower temperature will cook it well on the inside and not burn it on the outside. It's nice and, do you hear that? Some ASMR. It's nice and crunchy and crispy. So I'm just gonna eat, okay? I'm gonna eat. It's mother-in-law approved. All right, y'all, I have given you the secrets to my buttermilk fried chicken. Go make it for your man, make it for your mother-in-law. You will be good, I promise you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Try it out, and I'll see you on the next episode of Signature Dish.